Cassian getting his wings healed in the Court of Thorns and Roses series was the moment I realized Sarah J. Maas was not actually interested in exploring the misogyny in the world that she had built like she had been claiming to. If you don't know, in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, there is a species of fairy called the Illyrians. The Illyrians all have bat-like wings. They are also incredibly patriarchal and misogynistic, with female Illyrians having their wings clipped when they are young so they can never fly. And they do this so that they can be completely controlled by the men of the species, used for housework and baby making. But of course, the men of this species hold their wings and their ability to fly in very high regard, part of their very identity of what makes them Illyrian, of what makes them a man. At the end of the second book, one of the members of the species and major character Cassian has his wings torn to shreds in a battle. Now, Cassian is meant to be one of the good Illyrians. He is against the wing clipping practice, and he wants the women of the Illyrian species to be more free. But of course, he still values his own wings and his ability to fly very much. He's a warrior, and he considers it to be just part of him. When his wings are shredded, his brother and POV character Rhys says in his mind that Cassian would rather die than never have the ability to fly again. And so immediately upon reading this, I thought, Cassian is not going to get his wings fixed, or if he does, he will never be able to fly again. Cassian, this huge manly warrior, because Cassian was held up as very manly and very masculine, will now have to live as the women do. With the loss of his wings, not only comes the loss of his identity as a warrior, but his masculinity. This is a deeply emasculating thing that has happened to him. In the eyes of the Illyrians, this would be akin to castration. And I was so fascinated for how that was going to go. Cassian would see this as ruining his life. Again, like his brother said, he would rather have died. But half of his entire species lives their life like this, and they live a life. The Illyrian women find new purpose and new identity still as Illyrians despite the fact that they cannot fly. And now Cassian will have to do the same. How will this recontextualize this practice in his eyes? He was already against it, but now that he has lived it, how will it change his perspective of what being an Illyrian even means? Should they value flight to such an extent? Are wings all that make an Illyrian? Are wings all that make a man? I thought it was going to be an incredible plotline. And the next time you see Cassian, his wings are healed. They are fine. He is flying. They mention that they are weaker and that he should not be going on long distance or very physically exhausting flights, but he can fly. His wings overall, just fine. And that is the moment it struck me. Sarah J. Maas was not interested in exploring those issues. The violence against women she had set up in this world were never going to be truly addressed because she had no idea how else to give the women tragic backstories and make the men look better by comparison. That was all it was there for.